Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. So glad you're here today. Now today we're going to be working with this cute Sea Critters 6x6 pattern paper. And it's double-sided and you get 12 designs of each of these. And they're just really super fun. Now I've already worked with this and the other paper pad that was part of the subscription, and I made these cute cards here. They're all fun fold cards. And you may have seen them on my channel. And here is one with a belly band and the little crab, and it says sorry for being crabby. But I realized I haven't worked with these pink or these teal or the cutouts that are available. I mostly kind of use the teal and the purple, that real light teal and purple, and then we've got this really dark teal and this pink that I think is really pretty. And I have not even touched the cut-aparts. So I thought today I would just work with these cut-aparts here and these three patterns, and we'll just create 2 cards using these elements here. And we're going to keep it pretty simple. This is a really good beginner-friendly card making tutorial. I am going to bring in some nested dies. These are just A2 matting basic dies from Spellbinders, and they were probably my first nested die set ever, and I used to use them all the time. They give you perfect layers, and I've kind of gotten away from it. And I've been using just my guillotine to cut my layers, but I'm going to start using these again because they just give you absolutely perfect layers. I'll try to remember to link everything in the description box below so you can check it out, but I'm just going to take and die cut these out. Now I die cut out the larger one and then a smaller one, and then I also brought in a vellum, and I used the die to cut out vellum. And so basically we're going to layer this up on here, and I'm going to create my panels first, and then I'll lay it on my card base because I'm going to bring in some twine, and I don't want to glue it down because I want to add twine before I lay it down on my card base. So I'm just going to layer this up. I have a hard time using really busy pattern papers for the most part, and normally I would put it behind this. I'd make it the bigger panel and then put something on the front of it, but I thought I'll bring that busy pattern paper in with all the cute little elements. We'll lay the vellum over the top of it. It will soften it, and then it'll give us an area to put our little details. Now I am die cutting out, or fussy cutting out, 3 of these images. These circle things, I don't know what they are, some type of sea life. And I've got a pink one and a blue one, and then I'm going to bring in the seahorse and just fussy cut it out. And I did speed this up because I don't like fussy cutting. I'm not great at it, and I thought it would take forever. So I'm just going to get my little seahorse, and I've got my 3 elements there. And now we're ready to just kind of start building our focal point. So I need to figure out how to position these so that I can get some adherence on that vellum. And so I'm just positioning how I think that I want them. And then I'll be able to put some double-sided or some tape runner on there to hold my vellum down, and you won't see it because this little cluster here will cover it up. And so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and get it laid down on there. And it's going to give me plenty of room for some tape runner to get that adhered. So I'm just going to grab my tape runner. I just picked these up at Hobby Lobby, these tape runners. And I'm going to get it lined up on here and give it a little press. And now I'm going to bring my twine in. I've just got some just real light pink and white baker's twine. I'm going to add a little bit more there just so it stays down. And we're just going to wrap a couple layers around here and create a bow and just add some extra interest because this is going to be a pretty simple card. I'm just going to use those elements that I cut apart and these panels. And we'll just tie a little bow on there. We'll have a little string. And then we can get our little elements laid down on there. Now I had a viewer tell me in my comments how to make a perfect bow, and I'm trying it and I don't think I did it right. I need to go back and reread it. She mentioned taking the string from the bottom of the knot and making your first loop, I believe, and that's what I did there, but I'm not sure I did it exactly right. And I didn't get this vellum laid down on there straight, or else it moved, I don't know which, and I'm just straightening it up on there. And then we'll give our bow a little tug to get it good and tight. And we're just going to bring in our little seahorse and these other little elements, and we're going to bring in some foam tape and pop it up, and we'll just get it laid down on there. I've just got these little foam squares that I'm using, and we'll just get a little bit of dimension with our little seahorse. And the seahorse is in the pattern paper that is underneath the vellum, and that's why I thought I would bring it in and kind of pair it with that. I thought it'd be cute. And then I'm going to bring in the stamp set that was included, and I'm going to use the Slow Down and Enjoy sentiment for this, and I'm also going to grab the Hello There stamp, and we're going to stamp both of these up, and these are going to be the sentiments for my 2 cards. I've just got some white hammer mill cardstock there, and I'll just bring in my mini Misty, and we'll get these sentiments laid down on there, and then I'm basically creating the sentiments for both of the cards. And so this little one says hello there. I'm going to put it at the top just so I can just kind of cut it out, because I'm going to use a die for the larger one, and then I'll cut this one out. Now I'm having a hard time getting it positioned where I want it on my paper, so I'm going to bring in my crafty tool from Spellbinders, and it's a nudger, and you can just nudge it, and so I'm using that to straighten it up. And then we'll bring in some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink, and I need to pick up the stamps first, and then we can ink them up and get them stamped, pressed down. And the hello there is just the finest little sentiment. I mean, just super fine. And so I'll be real gentle with it. And then our Slow Down and Enjoy is a little bit more bold. And I'm going to give it one more press and just be real gentle with that hello there. And we've got our sentiments. So I've got a strip die here, and I'm just going to lay it down on there for my Slow Down and Enjoy sentiment, and then we'll just cut the other one apart. And I thought it was fun to do these kind of ocean cards and then to have that Slow Down and Enjoy sentiment, because I'm getting ready to go to the beach and to slow down and enjoy. And so I thought it'd be fun just to run a video with that. And so I've got this banner sentiment here, and I'm just going to position it on my card once I get this bow straightened around the way I want it. And I'll bring in some foam tape, and we'll actually put some foam on the back of that sentiment and get it laid down on our card. And I just picked some of this foam tape up here at the Dollar Tree when I was in there the other day. So I'm still messing with that bow, and we'll get that laid down on there. And then I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. There we go. And I think it turned out really cute. So we're going to get it laid down on our card base, and I've got that twine on the back, so I'm going to bring in some more foam. This is a wider width foam, and we'll just lay some pieces around that twine, and then we'll be able to get this laid down on there. And I pulled off the backer strips. I kind of condensed that a little bit. I'm going to have the tiniest little white frame around there because the A2 die was it's just inside of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we'll have just a little bit of white peeking all the way around there. And that'll finish off our card. I think it's really cute. It's super soft and pretty with light pinks. Now we're going to go with that dark teal. And we're going to pair it with that lighter pink paper that I used on the first card. So for this one, I just brought out the guillotine, and we went back to trimming it down. We're just doing a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I did that because on this one, I don't want that slight white edge around my card base. Now, I could have cut my card base down and still use that nested die, but I'm just going to do it this way. And so we've got a full panel of that kind of busy, what I'd call busy pattern paper. And then we're going to bring that pink back in. And I'm going to position this kind of wonky on here. I saw Tina Smith do this one time. And this is going to be kind of similar to how she did it on her card. And we're just going to position this panel over the top of this. We'll glue it, put some glue on it, and then I'll trim it. I'll flip my card base over and trim it away. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue on here and get it laid down on there. And like I said, it's just going to be kind of a wonky looking frame. And then we'll flip it over and we're just going to trim it. I'll bring in the guillotine and trim it up. And it may have been simpler to have used these scissors because I'm going to get into the card a little bit and it'll make it a little bit hard to cut. But we'll get it all trimmed up and then we'll be ready to assemble our card. So I've got it all cut and ready to go. And you can see it's just kind of an interesting little shape. You can turn your paper any old way you want just to kind of create an interesting shape. Now this is what I trimmed off of there. And I'm going to use these Perfect Touch arch dies. I've been using them a lot lately, only in a bigger version. And these are like the tags. And I'm going to die cut the two of them out. I was trying to see what I wanted. I've got those two tags, and we're going to just go to the die cutting machine and cut them out. Now the one had a hole in the center of it, and the second one did not, but I want to layer them up. So I'm going to bring in my crop-a-dial and just create a little hole in there. I'm just lining them up, and there we go. We've got it. And I'll just kind of nestle those two together, and this is where we're going to add our little focal point and just create our scene. And for this, I'm going to bring in this cute little sea creature, and I'm just going to fussy cut it out, and then we'll get it laid down on our card, and we'll add our little hello there sentiment, and it'll be super cute. So I had to pause my voiceover because my sister came in the middle of it, and she was actually there to pick me up to go to the concert in the park tonight. We have concerts in the park on Tuesday nights, and they're free, and we have a good mix of music that comes in and plays. It's usually very good. Tonight was pretty packed. It was a favored band there, and so there were a lot of people there. And so we went down. She picked me up on her golf cart, and we rode down on her golf cart and went and watched the concert. Now, we take turns, I, and our other girlfriend, driving on our golf carts down there, and so she picked me up, and then we headed down there. And then we always eat down there. They have food trucks, and we have a favored food truck that serves breaded tenderloins, and we had that for dinner. Actually, my dad and I split one. I eat mine without bun, and then my sister got one as well. And my mom got, I don't know, a burrito from another truck, but it was good. And then I ran and got my sister we wanted some ice cream, so I got some ice cream for us, and we had that. And then just sat and watched the concert, and it was pretty good. So now I'm just back, and I am getting my tags assembled, and I'm getting my little creature, my little sea creature laid down on there. And I'm going to just kind of position it wonky, and then we've got our sentiment, which is hello there, and I'm going to just glue it up. I've bannered it up on one side just because we've got sea creatures. It kind of looks like we've got a little fishtail going there. So I'll put some glue on it. We'll get it laid down on there. Now, while I was gone, Pat didn't go to the concerts in the park. He's usually very busy, and he's usually tired when he gets home. So Tuesday night, he hasn't been going. He, in the past, always went. But anyway, so he's been home, and he's got laundry running. So if you hear my dryer in the background, that's what all the banging around is. But so I'm just going to take that same baker's twine in the pink and the white and create a bow, and we're just going to lay it across our little tag hole just to make it look like it's tied off. I'm just going to bring in my tape runner, put a little bit of tape down there, give it a little press, and get it stuck on there. And then we have got our second card using our little cut-aparts. So I think they're super cute. I just wanted to use these particular pieces of pattern paper and to work with a cut-apart. So I've taken a couple pictures. I hope you like. If you do, consider hitting that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you subscribe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the Not Too Shabby Shop.